Now you're going to be installing a pre-filter. And I want you to take a look at the way it looks. You're going to see some arrows up here at the top. Please don't ignore those arrows, because this is the direction that the water will be flowing from and to. So you know that the portion that is coming from your source water will be pushed in this side. Why? Because the arrows are saying you want the water to go in this direction, and the portion that goes to your distiller will go in this side. Now see these two stems that we have here? They're basically plugs for those quick connect fittings that I talked to you about. If you look really, really close, you'll see that I call it a turtleneck. That's sticking out right now. That means this is locked. I can't pull this on out. And I don't know if you had experience with them, but when I was young, we had these little finger cuffs that were made out of bamboo. And if you stuck the finger cuffs in, if you pushed on in, you could really stick them in, you could touch your fingers, but try to pull them on out and you couldn't. Okay, so how could you get your finger out? By pushing it, compressing it back in, holding it, and then pulling your finger out. That's what this is about. It works very similarly, and if you have that concept, if you understand the concept I just gave you, you'll understand this very quickly. Here is the cuff. I'm pushing it in at this point in time. Now I'm going to twist and pull. Twisting and pulling is good too, so sometimes if you just pull, you get a lot more resistance and it's more difficult. So put a little twist to it. You see it came out. You see it's a stem. It's really a plug. We'll set that aside. Same with this other one. As you can see, I call it the turtleneck is out. So that means it's being pulled. You can't pull this on out because it's locked. So how are we going to fix that? How are we going to use that? We're going to push this back in. I'm going to twist and pull, and that one came out a lot easier. So make sure that you twist and pull nice and gently. Now we have the arrows again to take a look at. And we're going to install, we're going to go, this arrow says to the distiller, and this one says coming from your source. So let's put this area in. Here it's a little more challenging because you really don't know where the depth is, but you do have a clue. If you take a look at this portion of it, you can see just how far it went in. So you have an idea, and if you forgot how far it went in, push it back in again. Okay, you have a mark there. That you can place, because that's how deep it had to penetrate that. And once again, we want you to make sure that you stick it in fully. Otherwise you will have problems. I'm holding that back down. I'm twisting and pulling. At the same time, now I have a gauge. See this? This basically helps us to be confident in how far we push this in. I want just to make you aware of the fact that a lot of times when you push this in, you'll feel resistance. And if you read things about it, they tell you to jab it in because you have to, it's almost like a double push. But if you've made this little line for yourself, then you don't have to be so concerned with a double push. You just know how far to go with it. So I'm not using this right now. I'm going to put this up here to the line that I had before. Excuse me. I'm going to measure that distance. On here, so I have an idea of how far it could possibly go. If I don't go that far, then maybe I'm not secure. I take a second look at this to make sure that the flow of the water is going in the right direction, and it is. So I'm going to simply get this and jab it on in. Now in this particular situation, the length that I've had on there, I put my line way out on this one because I was farther against it, so I'm not all the way there. But it has been pushed in fully as well. And you can pull it this way and it'll be secure. Now we're going to do the same thing, knowing that I made my line a little bit longer than it, with more distance than it should have had. And we're going to stick the incoming line, and this is the water that's going to come from your saddle valve. Do the same thing with it. Mark the distances for it. See if I can do a better job this time of putting my line on there. Pushing this in, I'm going to push it on in. I did a better job that time. I was a little bit closer to it. If I was you and I put this line that I just had up here long, I'd question that, pull that back out and mark it again so that you're confident about it. You pull it, the turtleneck is out, it's secure, it won't leak, and it's ready to go. Now we attach this to our saddle valve.